I am in charge of IoT sales in Southern Europe. We'll present here our view and involvement in IoT, or even what we call IoE. We want to make it a bit different, but I will explain about it. And this is a nice travel, probably as nice as an holiday within the Greek Iceland. But IoT, or IoE as we call it, as was described before, is definitively something big, different from the past, but which is happening now. The time is really now. And we are a huge number of participants here in this room, but IoT also generates the interest of our responsible people. You can see here Marisa Mayer, our chairman of the board, John Chambers, in Davos more than a year ago, just around IoT. The world is really changing, and it's changing again over the past 6-7 years. The business demand for productivity, globalization, consumerization of IT has changed dramatically. This means for all organizations new growth opportunity with advance in productivity. The enterprise wants to access application everywhere, anytime, but also now from any device of their choice. And we see that there has been a change which will require in the evolution of the internet. And we have seen 4 phases. The first phase, which we call here connectivity, is in fact digitalized access to information. And we, Cisco, have been driving that 25 years ago. The second phase, called network economy, is in fact digitalization of the business processes. The third one, we call immersive experience, is really the digitization of the interactions between people, for example. And the fourth one, the one we are entering in, or we are already in, is the Internet of everything, which I would say is digitalizing the world. And each phase has really create, and this one will also create business value for the enterprise, for the governments, as well as for the people. So this fourth phase is really about connecting things, objects, machine. And if we look where we are today, I'll pass very quickly as this was already discussed, but if the world population is growing, the number of objects which are or will be connected is growing even much faster over the coming year. However, only at this stage, a very small percentage, 1% of the existing 13 billion devices are really today connected. And we expect that to generate big growth for all the enterprise. At Cisco, we don't talk just about IoT, but we talk about IoE, Internet of Everything. Why? Because we believe that this fourth wave is not only about connecting the things, but continuing what has already been done in the connection of people, in the accessibility of data. And in fact, we want to add on top the IoT, the connection of things, object, machine, to provide additional data to the people to improve the business processes. And this is the ultimate goal, and this is what will create value. And this value transformation, value creation has already started with connected cars, with Autolib in the streets of Paris, with GE or Rolls-Royce being able to send data from their aircraft engine, with Google Car, with Uber, and even the Uberization of the world, which is now become a French word as well. And if we did a study over approximately 1,200 companies, in the various verticals, market segment, is it in manufacturing, is it in public sector, in transportation, in retail, oil and gas, utilities, and so all of them are going to increase their IoT investment over the next 3 years. And it's a huge investment typically, but most of them and very, very similar kind of investment growth. And really interesting, and I think in phase with this IoE, Internet of Everything, when we look at this 1,200 and something company we did study, the investment, only 13% is going in connecting the things. Most of the investment will be on the data and processes, accelerating the processes. And that's what we call really the Internet of Everything, which is happening today. You may have heard about Industry 4.0, mainly driven from Germany, or smart industry in US. Internet of Things is driving. It will be the enabler for the industrial renaissance and manufacturing productivity, huge increase expected in the next years, with continued battle between the countries to retain their manufacture and increase their manufacturing capabilities. Manufacturing, an example, in the utilities, we see Internet of Things, and that's also happening now, providing solution to have a much better grid, allowing better usage of electricity, but also in the transition in the electricity generation to more green energy, dispersed in the countries, in the field, the capability to provide a much more stable network. And the same is happening in the various vertical. What's really the change as well here, and you'll see in the middle here a number of companies which are not IT company, but which are here industrial company. I choose some names. The list would be much longer of companies who are working with Rockwell in automation, Honeywell in process industry, Itron in the electricity area, Alstom in transportation, and so on. Why? That means also convergence, that the IT people have to talk to the operation. And this is that real convergence that we are as well driving and in our approach to IoT in the industrial field. But IoT will not only transform the manufacturing or the industry or the utilities, is also a way to transform, digitalize the city, the hospital, but also all the transportation, highway, rail, and other. From the object, app, to the platform, the cloud services provided to the various users. That also means that this transformation is requiring a number of vertical solutions. And this is where we have been spending in the last months, last years, and will continue to spend money in a number of vertical to drive vertical solution from the machine up to the cloud, complete IT and OT by operation solution. This means that IoT is not just a machine-to-machine connectivity. It's a complete set of solutions from, of course, the device or sensor connectivity up to the application, the data analytics, the big data, without forgetting the security which is needed, because as soon as we are generalizing the number of connection points, we also increase the risk of cyber security, even to some of the critical infrastructure. So security is inherent in the IoT or IoE. Another change that IoT will bring is the model which we all see today of the endpoint communicating to the data center is not the model that will prevail in the coming years. We would like it. We would like it because this would mean much more business for us and for the service provider. But however, our view is that between, even if not based in London, that between the device and the cloud, we will have the fog. And the fog, that means that the data needs to be processed for some of them as close as possible from the end device, and that only the relevant data being transferred to the global storage data center. In conclusion, Internet of Things is there, is growing, is representing a huge business opportunity for all of us, for the company in terms of productivity increase. The same apply to the government and change in life for the people. The other tremendous trend that we see in the industry in line with the IoT is that the IT budget are more and more moving towards direct application in the operations of the company. And that's where IoT will also be an enabler. IoT is now, as I did mention, of course, it is innovation. What IoT is in fact not only the things, but as I did mention, the data, the process, the people, to bring that real digitalization that we are all talking about right now. And I want to finish on a local example of current implementation with a Greek company, one of our partners named Cetel Hellas, who is a solution, providing solution to the maritime and vessel companies. They have developed IoT solution which combine Cisco technology and their application in a single box to connect the vessel and provide not only the data communication, but also all the sensors on the vessel on board, data transmission, data analysis as well, and which can be extended in the near future to health, telemedicine kind of solution. So we are really connecting the maritime industry with Cetel Hellas. Just to finish, Internet of Everything is now, as we discussed, is of course different and is big. The analysis we have done is that it will create or displace over the next 10 years over 19,000 billions of dollars. And if it's a number I want you to keep in mind is this one. But it will not be only creation, it's creation and displacement. Thank you.